a lot of voices and a lot of opinions and a lot of direction that's given to support people in the Hill District. So all voices need to be heard, from the youngest who can articulate what it means to them to the oldest who've seen it change so much over the last 50+ years.
The Hill House has always been that focal point for the community. And so, you know, it continues to this day, except we are meeting different needs and the challenges of an ever-changing society.
Well, historically, the Hill District was home to a number of immigrants, but the largest immigrant population was the Jewish population.
Back in the early 1900s, basically the Hill District was a working class community. There were people of all nationalities. There were Jewish immigrants, there were people from Syria, people from Jordan, Italians, Germans, black people. There were a lot of different people who lived in the Hill. And the Irene Kaufman Settlement House was a place where almost all those people could come together.
And the role of the Irene Kaufman Settlement House was to help immigrants resettle in America.
It gave them a place to learn English and to understand what it meant to become an American. And eventually, the Settlement House opened its doors to the 25 nationalities who claim the Hill District as home.
The Irene Kaufman Settlement House saved my life, saved my life, saved my life.
I would hope my father, Wendell Freeland, would be remembered fondly. He spent a great deal of time, effort in this community to help make it better.
Wendell Freeland was not only one of the founders here at the Hill House Association. He truly was a pioneer, and he was a driving force behind how the Hill House came to be.
When you think of my father, Wendell Freeland, I would hope that you would remember the contributions that he's made, not just to the Hill District, but to this city.
The Hillmans played a very important role within the Hill House, and particularly Elsie Hillman and her personal leadership. Turns out that, again, through Wendell Freeland, Elsie was introduced to the Hill House, and Elsie became one of the first board members. In fact, even as they were emerging, she was the one charged with chairing the committee that named this place. When I think of Elsie Hillman, I think of true civic leadership. Very, very special to me.
So our community, because it's so valuable, has been a focus for a long-term, and I would say a land grab, that has pushed lots of folks out of our neighborhood. In 1950, there were 50,000 people that lived in the Hill District. By 1970, our population was down to 28,000. By 1990, our population was down to 15,000 because there was a plan to get rid of the Hill District and join up downtown in Oakland, and we're fighting very hard to make sure that we have development, but development without displacement.
I see the Hill House playing a role in the Hill District's transition. You know, the community changes practically daily, and we see that in the individuals who are moving into the Hill. Obviously, the Hill is not the 100% African American community that it used to be.
Well, the Hill House has a legacy in the city of Pittsburgh as a dynamic neighborhood. And a lot of younger people don't understand or know about the heyday of the Hill District and what it has contributed to the city of Pittsburgh.
The transition, I'm hoping, can be positive for everybody who is involved, but it's definitely something that, I think that we all have to be working towards together so that the transition can be as smooth and as peaceful as possible.
The universal view and vision for the Hill District is much like the people of the Hill District. They just want a humble, simple, decent life. That's what people expect and demand, And that's the vision that I hope we will see.
Our universal vision for the Hill District is really the Hill District's universal vision for itself.
I hope that the vision that prevails is one in which people of all ages feel that this neighborhood is as livable as any other in the city, and that that people who are from this neighborhood can sort of continue to shape the direction the city goes.
We've been able to provide really strong economic development initiatives like the grocery store that was 30 years in the making. We are providing a school now that is educating young people, wraparound services. Everything is strong. We had to go through a restructuring, but we have come out on the other side very, very strong.
It's important for the Ujamaa Collective to be in the Hill District because we really seek to build on the history of arts and culture in the Hill. You know, there's such great stories of people who have really trailblazed, and we see ourselves as the present and future trailblazers in the Hill District.
We chose the Hill District because of the huge number of organizations that are doing a really interesting job of creating that contemporary story of the Hill. So Amazaji was able to take a delegation of youth from the Hill District in 2015 to Northern Ireland for about a week and a half. We worked with the Hill House primarily in recruiting the students, but many partners participated in what's now become a kind of network effort to engage and connect youth from the Hill to other parts of the world.
As we go into the next 50 years, I think the Hill House is well equipped to continue to provide wraparound services and the support services needed to continue to help people be self-sustaining.
It's on such a positive trajectory. There's so much potential here, but we just have to make sure that we seal the deal, and under the Hill House's leadership, there really is that potential.
And I think that it's also important that, you know, when we look back at the last 50 years, that we also bring out some of the best things that the Hill House and other partners have done well, and that we seek to do those things again.
Well, as we go into the next 50 years, you know, it is my hope that our relationship with the Hill House continue. We obviously would be willing partners in that endeavor.
Our next 50 years will be just as interesting and just as amazing. So green space is really important, and this is a neighborhood that has an abundance of green space. And as my friend Dr. Mindy Fully Love likes to say, the Hill District is the center of the universe, and I truly believe that.
So this plot of land, excuse me, means a great deal to all of us.
To be part of the soul of the community
Makes it just even more
special for me.
I am the new Hill House Association.